replacement, since this is my field. Then, yeah, so some of you, or I know some of you through the South African Young Water Professionals and the Water Institute of Southern Africa, WISA, but here I wear my work hat, my non-volunteer hat with the EWSETA, and maybe just to say though that Tirche is going to speak later on. Tirche, do you want to wave? Later on about the Young Water Professionals. So we'll also hear that side. Okay. The content of my presentation, I interpreted this title as actually saying what do we support and how do we support it. So some of you will be quite familiar with what I'm going to talk about, so I do apologize. But I do hope that for some of you I will highlight exactly what the SETA does and what our role is in terms of skills development in the water sector. All right. So this is, I tried to summarize the postgraduate education and training system in South Africa in one slide, which of course easier said than done. But maybe I'm also going to use this pointer. There we go. Okay. So the way it works is that you have to go to school until grade 9 in South Africa. Umalusi is the quality council responsible for this. You then go, let me actually pull up this. After that you enter the national qualifications or the NQF framework, right? And all qualifications that are done in South Africa are rated alongside the NQF. Now, what happens is that basically you go to TVET colleges or community college. Approximately you can go up to NQF level 6, although it's not necessarily given. If you go to university, these should actually be kind of parallel. Right, you finish matric, then you go to universities, you do undergraduate, and then you can do a postgraduate at universities or universities of technologies, which now both fall under the CHE, which is the Council for Higher Education and Training. TVET colleges have QCTO. It was already mentioned by my colleague from the Department of Water and Sanitation. They are the Quality Council for Trade and Occupations. Now, I just want to put this out there because I think a lot of people, especially in the science world, are not very familiar with this, right? And we're not always speaking to each other in terms of the water people and the skills development people. And as the EWSETA, I see it partially our role to actually make sure that we understand each other's world. Now, funding, I tried to also put in the same slide, sorry, I turned from side to side to balance it out. Funding for TVET colleges mostly comes from the SETAs. I named the big ones, right? There are obviously also NGOs that give funding and other bodies. Then at universities you have the NSFAS, some SETA bursaries. But I'm gonna immediately jump to it. It's an extremely small part of our budget. Okay, we are not one of the main funders. I do just put it out there because we do fund some undergraduate bursaries. Then at postgraduate level, you have in the water sector specifically the Water Research Commission that does, especially in terms of innovation and high-end research, as well as the NRF, right? That channels a lot of the funding also from the DST, for example. So maybe just to give an idea where we actually fit as a SETA, right? Now, why, it was, the whole forum was started with the words that this is about high-end research. Now, how do SETAs fit into this high-end research landscape? And first of all, obviously, if you come from a TVET college, the idea is that along the NQF you can go to a university and a university of technology with your degree, right? It's not for you to just go back to, basically start from zero again, right? So there is a certain articulation between the two, or there should be. I don't think it's working very well right now, to be honest. And then also there is what I consider an articulation back. And that's also where a lot of our partnerships, or where I think we fit in very much in this forum, when new technology gets implemented, or is supposed to be implemented, who is going to maintain it? Who is actually going to install it? Who is going to manufacture it? And I think that's where very much in our skills planning, we have to be aware of what's happening at the high-end skills and research and development space. Otherwise, the people that are actually supposed to run all of this are not going to get the right education and the right knowledge to do so, because we are very much involved in qualification development and curriculum development. So that's, for me, the two spaces where it very much links to what is being discussed here, or where science and technology becomes really crucial. Okay, this is from 2012, a postcode system, so the numbers will have changed, but I just wanted to highlight the total upside down triangle. It should really be the other way around, right? These numbers are fairly shocking, and I just want us to put us in the right frame of mind of also what we're dealing with and some of the challenges we're dealing with. Obviously, this is overall, this is not just in the water sector, but I just thought it gives a very good idea of where the postcode system is at. This picture has not changed very much, I think, over the last 4 years, unfortunately. Although we're pumping people into the colleges, more and more people also get pumped into the universities, right? So I think the proportion has stayed the same. Now in Germany, for example, where I'm originally from, maybe you've heard it, the triangle is exactly the other way around, right? And in many ways South Africa wants to get there. That is not to say that is necessarily the right way, but of course, if you have more what we call intermediary skills, right? Intermediary skills, for me, underline, I made a list of things, what I consider sustainable economic growth, healthy manufacturing sector, social stability, and environmental management, right? Those are the guys on the ground doing everything, doing the service delivery. Okay, what's our mission as a SETA? So I start on top. For me it is cyclical though. Firstly, what we do is research. It was already mentioned, our sector skills plan is one of our key outputs. This allows us to actually understand the skills demand and supply. Now all SETAs kind of go along this, right? But we focus specifically on energy and water. We also do quality assurance, right? So we do accreditation. We also, well, ultimately we establish a skills pipeline. I already alluded to it. So, you know, people can then continue studying and contribute to the sector overall. We contribute to government growth policies. We are very much driven by national imperatives. So the SIPs, for example, are one of the key things. The National Development Plan is absolute a guiding document for us. Ultimately, it's about employment creation, whether that is self-employment or employment with somebody else. Obviously, once more people work, we have to do more research to find out what is needed next. Hence, what I consider